Thanks, Peter, for that delightful tale.
I warned y'all at the beginning.
So the story I'm about to tell you is from Russia, and it's about a young girl called Vasilisa. Now the story starts in Vasilisa's house, and it's a very sad day because Vasilisa's mother is lying on the deathbed, and Vasilisa and her father at the foot of the bed, and they're praying to God to take the spirit into the next life. And then the mother beckons to Vasilisa and says, "Come here, my child." And the girl goes to the mother, and the mother takes out from under her coverlet a beautiful little doll. And that doll looks exactly like Vasilisa, with a knitted red skirt, black boots, a cape, a little hat, very daintily and beautifully done. And Vasilisa's mother gives her this doll and says, "After I'm gone, this is my blessing to you. This doll is going to protect you. So take good care of it." And with that, the mother breathed her last. Vasilisa and her father were grief-stricken. But it was a time of war in Russia. So the father had to get on with his life, and he had to go far to look for a job. So he got married to a beautiful lady with two very prim and proper daughters. And they all behaved very nicely with Vasilisa till the father left the house. And then they started ill-treating her, making her do all kinds of chores, which really was very bad for her, which hurt her hands. And they humiliated her by making her wait on them. But Vasilisa had something about her which was otherworldly, and she took everything in her stride. And this infuriated the trio even more. And one day, the stepmother says, "We have to get rid of that nuisance." And the other stepsister says, "Yes, you know what we should do? We'll send her to Baba Yaga." Now, Baba Yaga was this fearsome witch who lived on the other side of the woods. So now Vasilisa comes home in the evening with this armful of wood, and she sees the fire has gone out. And actually the stepsisters have put out the fire. The house is cold and dark, mother, she says. "What has happened to the fire? Where is the fire?" "Oh, you silly child, can't you see that the fire is out?" "What do you mean, where is the fire? And who's going to go to get the fire?" "I can't go, I'm too old. And your sisters are too scared. You will have to go." Vasilisa innocently said, "Yes, mother, I'll go." So she makes her way into the forest, and it's getting very dark, and she's very scared. Then she remembers that doll which her mother had given, and she puts her hand on that doll which was in her pocket, and she feels very reassured. And she spends the night in the forest, safe and sound. And the next day, as she wakes up, as the day breaks, she sees a man on a white horse riding across the sky, and it is day. And as she's finding her way through the forest, she doesn't know whether to go left or right. But every time she puts her hand on that doll, the doll tells her the way. She knows where to go. So she walks for a long time, and the sun rises in the sky, and a man in orange, on an orange horse, rides across the sky. And it is midday, and still she walks, and she walks, and she walks. She walks until evening becomes night. And then a man on a black horse, dressed in black, rides across the sky and lands on a house in it. And as he lands, it is night. And Vasilisa makes her way to that house. But this is the house of Baba Yaga. Now, as Vasilisa reaches the house, she realizes something really eerie about this place. Baba Yaga was really a fearsome creature. She was so ugly. She had a face full of warts, her nose curved downwards and her chin curved upwards, and they both met in the middle. And for trade, she collected frogs and toads. And she had this long, greasy black hair which streamed in the moonlight when she rode across the sky in a cauldron, using an oar as a pestle. Oh, she was fearsome. She loved human flesh. That's why she was really, really somebody to be scared about. But if Baba Yaga was a strange person, even stranger than her was her house. Her house was downright eerie. The windows and doors were not fastened by hinges. They were fastened with human fingers and toes. And on the front door, instead of a knocker, there was a huge snout of a pig. And Vasilisa saw this house and she got scared. And the house was on stilts. Now you may say, okay, so what? The house was on stilts. But those stilts were actually chickens' legs. And the house would walk about at will. And every time Vasilisa came to the front door, the house would turn like that. She said, what am I going to do? I'm going back home, I'm going. And she turned to go back home and she bumps into Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga has just returned from a journey then landed straight in front of her. And she is not at all pleased to see this young girl.
What do you think you are doing here, my child?
As if she wants to have her for dinner. Not in that way. And Vasilisa, Granny, I'm all out of fire. I'm all out of fire.
So, what can I do if you're all out of fire?
And Vasilisa doesn't know what to say. But instinctively she puts her hand on the door. Baba Yaga said,
Why should I give you fire?
and Vasilisa said, because I asked you. Baba Yaga is absolutely stunned.
That's the right answer. Okay. I'll give you fire, but you have to work for me for 3 days and 3 nights and do whatever I tell you. Then I will give you fire. And if you do this, you will get your fire. But if you don't, you will die.
So Vasilisa worked for the witch for 3 days and 3 nights, and she did really a tremendous amount of work with the help of the doll. And as she finished her duties for the day, by evening, by twilight, hands mysteriously appeared from nowhere, disembodied hands, and started working to make the dinner and serve it to the Yaga. This was very surprising. But after 3 days, Vasilisa went to the witch and said, Granny, may I ask you a few questions? And the witch said,
Okay, ask, but remember, knowing too much will make you old too soon.
Yes, Granny. Granny, could you tell me about those horses? The white one is my day. The orange one is my evening sun. And the black one, the beauty, he is my night. Now, Vasilisa, seeing that she was on a good wicket with the witch, wants to ask about those hands. And she's about to ask about those hands when the doll just starts vibrating in her pocket. And she says, my gosh, I better not ask. But the witch knows that she wants to ask her something. So she says, yes, dear. Come on, you can ask. No, Granny, said Vasilisa. You yourself said, knowing too much would make me old too soon.
You are very wise for one so young. Where did you get your wisdom from, my child?
And Vasilisa innocently replies, by the blessings of my mother.
Blessings? Blessings? We don't need blessings.
As hard she pushes her out of the house, and as she goes, she gives her a skull on a stick, and the skull is breathing fire.
And go away from here.
And Vasilisa is about to turn to thank her, but the doll again tells her, don't thank her, just go. So she takes the skull on the stick and she goes into the forest. And as she reaches the forest, she's so scared of that skull because it's breathing flames that she wants to throw it in a bush. But she gets a message from the skull, no, keep me, I'm going to come in handy. So she takes that skull and stick and she goes home. And the stepmother and stepsisters pretend to be very happy to see her. They think she's long dead. They light the fire and they put the stick on the wall in the center of the house. And in the night, the three of them are consumed by guilt looking at that skull. And Vasilisa sleeps peacefully throughout the night. Next morning, when she wakes up, she searches for her stepmother and stepsisters, and she sees none of them. She only sees 3 piles of ashes. But looking out of the window, she sees her father coming back from work. Thank you.